My name is Kim Høj Jørgensen. I'm the game director and one of 3 co-founders of 0 Point Software, a small independent game developer located here in Copenhagen, Denmark. A while back we were invited to give a talk about our lessons learned in open door development at European Creative Business Network's 5th media conference. The presentation went pretty well and people seemed generally intrigued by our open and honest history, so now we want to make a simple video recreation of the presentation to be able to share it with you. Let me start by quickly defining what the term open door development means to us. Open door development is about letting go of our ego. It's about allowing people to play our games before they're finished. It's about allowing gamers to pre-purchase our games ahead of time at a very favorable price. And it's about embracing feedback and suggestions, truly believing that it'll allow us to create the best games humanly possible. It's about updating the games frequently, adding more and more value to people playing the game, and just as importantly, each update allows us to attract new people to our community. But above all else, open door development is about being completely honest and authentic about everything we say and do. People have a right to know exactly what they're signing up for. For the last 8 years, we've been working on creating the game of our dreams called Interstellar Marines. Interstellar Marines is my personal brainchild, born from my obsessive passion for a very particular type of games. Games that allows you to experience exciting entertainment through the eyes of your character in first-person perspective. For me, this is by far the most immersive type of entertainment expression available on the planet today. The core DNA of Interstellar Marines originates from 3 very specific first-person games, which have all significantly inspired Interstellar Marines into what it is today. The first game is Half-Life from Valve Software. Half-Life gave us one of the most memorable first-person experiences even to this day, through its truly out-of-this-world cinematic approach to storytelling and character interaction. The next game is System Shock 2 from Irrational Games. System Shock 2 influenced a paradigm shift in our perception of what first-person games can be, immersing us completely with its atmospheric science fiction, genius first-person role-playing, and rich sandbox game world. Finally, we have Rainbow Six Raven Shield from Ubisoft. Raven Shield helped evolve the tactical DNA of Interstellar Marines, with its relentless online cooperative multiplayer, military realism, and open-world mission scenarios. No doubt Interstellar Marines is a very ambitious game. Now, there are games that are simple, inexpensive, and fairly easy to implement. And then there are games that are mind-blowingly ambitious, hugely expensive, and really complicated to develop. With a budget of estimated $10 million, the conventional wisdom back in 2004 was that the only way for us to realize our dreams, we would have to somehow find a way to attract the attention of the big publishers. But with no money and no team and no technology, we definitely had to think outside the box. Let's take whatever money we can scrap together, get a few more people on board, and answer one question. What would a trailer of the finished game look like? By May 2006, after having worked day and night for almost a year, we were finally able to upload a small 3-minute conceptual trailer on our website. A few of the big gaming websites featured the trailer with views in the hundreds of thousands, and people were really excited. And just a few days later, the first publisher called us up, wanting to know more about our game. With a newfound interest from publishers, we were able to convince a small group of investors to invest a bit of money in our company. And the 4-guy trailer team quickly grew to 20 full-time developers, and we immediately started working on a cool cooperative demo for publishers on an evaluation license of Unreal Engine 3. Early 2008, we flew to San Francisco to meet with some of the biggest publishers in the world at the annual Game Developers Conference, and immediately after, we were already in serious talks with 4 of the larger ones. It was summer 2008, and everything was just clear skies and nothing but smooth sailing ahead. Or so it seemed, because then this happened. And soon after, the world looked like this. By autumn 2008, every single publisher we had been negotiating with had turned us down. They were all consolidating effort on internal teams to focus attention on established franchises, and there was simply no way that they would sign a new IP from a small unknown developer in times like this. This was definitely a major setback, but then we had a radical idea. Why not just open our doors to the world? Let's release the cooperative demo and proof of concept multiplayer that we were working on, and see if it was somehow possible to generate a new wave of interest centered around the concept of open door development. The only real challenge was to figure out what our engine providers at Epic Games would say about such a crazy idea. So early 2009, we attended the Game Developers Conference again, this time primarily to meet up with Mark Rain, the Vice President of Epic Games. Unfortunately, Mark could not endorse open door development at this point in time. There simply were no license options available. By summer 2009, the financial crisis was at full force everywhere, even sweeping through the boardroom of our small development studio. Because with no real options for generating revenue, the financial foundation for sustaining development simply wasn't available, and by July 2009 we were forced to file for the bankruptcy of 0 Point Software. Giving up has never been an option, and then something truly amazing happened. A faint light emerged at the end of our dark tunnel. A few months prior to the unapparent bankruptcy, we had successfully launched an ambitious community website and had even managed to establish a simple support system allowing community members to pre-order our ambitious dreams. The dark clouds of the awful bankruptcy was quickly being obliterated by the positive support posted daily on our community website. We still believe. We're with you to the end. Let's spread the word. Shut up and take my money. Please allow me to support even more, were some of the things we read there. And from the ashes of our former selves rose a new breed of independent game developers ready to seize the opportunity of true open door development with the people wanting to play the game just as much as we did. At that point, we needed a new development platform. A platform which would offer fast, liberal and inexpensive game development. And on recommendation, we chose the Unity engine, which was rapidly becoming the preferred platform for many independent developers such as ourselves. By autumn 2009, work was already well underway developing a whole range of core proof-of-concept plans for the near future. The first demo we released was called The Vault. Inside The Vault, people can get an interactive introduction to some of the key characters of the Interstellar Marines universe. The next demo we released was called Bullseye. In Bullseye, people could go hands-on with the visceral weapon simulation and skill-based weapon training we want to deliver with Interstellar Marines. And finally, summer 2010, we released a demo called Running Man, which centers on demonstrating the basic immersive first-person movement that will drive your character in Interstellar Marines. We're currently working hard on establishing the technology and gameplay platform for our innovative cooperative multiplayer experience. We're calling this phase Deadlock, and with each update we're slowly moving the experience closer and closer to the core DNA of Interstellar Marines. We've been in open door development for about 2.5 years now, and parallel to releasing playable demos, we've also updated our community website and support system as we constantly analyze our progress with feedback from our community. We currently have about 200,000 registered users, of which just over 3,000 have already pre-ordered our games. On request from our community, we've added a support medal program, allowing people to support more. This has been a huge success, accounting for about 1/4 of the more than $200,000 we've been able to raise in crowdfunding over the last 2.5 years. Constantly updating our game has allowed us to spread the word through small update videos, each attracting more people and to our community. And with each update, we get a lot of valuable feedback and suggestions in our forum, which effectively helps us create better games. Our biggest challenge to this day is that Interstellar Marines is still a very ambitious, expensive and complex game to make. The resources required for development is currently above the support we're able to generate on a month-to-month basis, effectively creating momentum fluctuations as we constantly fight expenses opposed to creating games. It's really expensive for us to establish the core first-person platform for Interstellar Marines, and as a result the product value and revenue has both suffered from the slow momentum output from our small team. Metaphorically speaking, we've been focusing a lot of time and resources trying to create this, which will no doubt be extremely exciting when done, but the reality is that we've only been able to afford creating this. Useful, sure, but it's still light years more exciting to drive the actual car. We're currently looking into all options that we can help us speed up the development of Interstellar Marines one way or the other, but when it comes to open door development, we're not going to change a thing. We just have to look to Sweden to find the most successful example of open door development. Here one guy with a simple great idea released a small demo on a website, offering people to play the demo for free or purchase the alpha version he was creating. And through completely honesty and authenticity, he priced the game very favorably, and then he started updating the experience, adding more and more value to people playing the game. Today, Minecraft has sold more than 7 million copies from the website alone, generating more than $100 million in revenue. The core idea of Minecraft is geniusly simple, technically inexpensive and hugely entertaining, which also makes its diagram a bit more exciting. We know deep in our hearts that we will eventually be able to deliver the ambitious vision that is Interstellar Marines. It's just a matter of time. But instead of obsessively trying to deliver this, we'll eventually have to deliver this first. That's why we are currently preparing a heartfelt and honest pitch at the world's largest crowdfunding platform on Kickstarter.com. And only time will tell if we are able to sell the potential of our ambitious vision through a simple and unique first step. Thank you very much for your time.